All right, moved by Mr. Edwards, seconded by Mr. Allgood. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Garner?
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney?
Yes.
Mr. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Allgood?
Yes.
Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Winter?
Yes. At this time, will you join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you. First up for our recognitions, we have our Senior of the Month. And yeah,
Good evening, Chairman Winter, Vice Chair Allgood, Dr. Warner, school board members. Mecklenburg County High School would like to recognize Joshua Bancheroux as our April Senior of the Month. Joshua is a student whose creativity, dedication, and positive spirit have made a meaningful impact on our school community. Joshua's teachers describe him as an outstanding student whose intelligence, kindness, and strong work ethic set him apart. He consistently approaches challenges with a positive attitude and is always willing to support his peers and teachers. His eagerness to try new things and commitment to growth reflect a maturity that will serve him well beyond high school. One of Joshua's strongest skills is his talent in photography. He shows both creativity and technical ability in every project he takes on. His work on the school yearbook has been invaluable, playing a key role in meeting deadlines and ensuring the final product captured the pride and spirit of Mecklenburg County High School. His knack for collaborating and leading behind the scenes reflect his character and dedication. Along with his artistic talents, Joshua is very involved in our in-school activities. He takes part in Beta, DECA, and FBLA, reaching the state level this year. He is also an active member of our Phoenix 5 team, serving as an engineer and competes in the state level for this year. Competes in both indoor and outdoor track. Additionally, Joshua has taken initiative in his academic path by enrolling in both courses at Southside Virginia Community College, where he is on track to earn his associate's degree this summer. After graduation, Joshua plans to attend Virginia Commonwealth University to pursue a degree in photography and film. We are incredibly proud of and to honor Joshua Bancheroux as our April Senior of the Month. His dedication, creativity, and leadership truly embody the spirit of Mecklenburg County High School. Congratulations, Joshua.
Joshua already knows the drill. So
right.
Hello, my name is Joshua Bancheroux, and I want to introduce my mother, Jenna Joab, and thank her for instilling in me the belief to achieve high and also have good manners through my childhood. And I want to thank her, and I wouldn't be here without her. Thank you.
Bring her up.
Bring it up. And then the board would like to shake your hand.
Congratulations.
Great job, proud of you.
Thank you. Good luck in school.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. We need more parents like you.
I got you. Right? All right, thank you. Next up, the VSBA Art Contest recognitions. Dr. Warner.
Being a former art teacher myself, I'm excited to ask these young people to come up. These were individuals from the elementary, middle, and high school. We had several great examples of art. There was a judging here. No, excuse me. There was a judging at the school. the school art teachers selected the best of the best, and then we selected from them. So let me start off with the elementary school art contest winner for the school division, which she also competed at the Virginia School Boards Association art contest that was held this year in Danville. Scarlett Carter. Scarlett, you drew that beautiful snowman, is that correct? Outstanding.
Ooh,
There you go.
excellent.
The next individual, Lillian Peregrine, was the middle school division winner, and she also competed in the BSBA contest. We popped hers up. I think hers was called Cat 2. Is that correct?
Cool.
Lillian, are you here this evening?
Very nice.
And our final recognition tonight will be for the high school competition. This individual drew an amazing hunting picture. Very realistic. Draws you in with the orange hat and brings you back out. And, this individual is David Stark. She's not here tonight, but yes, who is?
All right, moving on to public input. And Ms. Stark, do we have anyone signed up for this evening?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
At this time, matters may be publicly brought to the attention of the board and administration. The public is invited to sign up to speak. The clerk of the school board will write down your name, contact information, and the topic that you wish to speak about. The public is allowed up to 6 minutes at most meetings to express their views. Time may not be yielded to other speakers. Please respect the time limitation. It will be enforced. The board will not answer questions or engage in dialogue with persons addressing the board during public comments. The board asks speakers to be courteous and address the board as a whole. The full policy regulation regarding public comment, policy KDR, is available on the website and has been provided to members in attendance. Again, we welcome and appreciate your input. Prior to beginning your comment, please state your name to the board. We have a Mr. Derek Bowers, excuse me.
Thank you, Ms. Stark.
Good afternoon. My name is Derek Bowers. I do have a nonprofit group called D. Bowers Group, LLC. And what I do a lot of work inside with the community. But I'm actually asking the school board to do, as well as the first responders. I want to have an end of the summer event where though the families and the children can get together and play against some of the school, the teachers and so forth and so on that they actually teach. And that way, over the summer, if some of our youth maybe are doing something they have a business doing, but if they see one of their teachers or see law enforcement, they'll straighten up. I remember when my mother was teaching at the school years ago, they had the parents versus teachers. And a lot of the children was bragging about their parents, go beat the teachers and everything. That was friendly back then. And I actually want to do that again as well. And also having a program that actually takes place for a lot of the children is not able to actually afford to pay the actual rates at the YMCA, playing particular sports. Shout out to the YMCA, thank them for what they're doing as well. Every time I have a basketball tournament, I actually give back to the YMCA for what they do. I thank the school for allowing me to actually use the facility, the old Bluestone High School facility. So like I said, I'm not really asking for anything, but y'all support with what I'm actually trying to do. It's called the DE Bowers Group LLC. You can Google it. And like I say, I'm hoping and praying that the Mecklenburg County Sheriff Department reach out to them, the Virginia State Police, and the first responders and the military, and some of the school board members, or either the actual people that actually work with the school board would like to be interested in, being participating in that sports event. And that's about it. And also, if you get an opportunity, we do have the Orlando White Scholarship Fund. He's the son of Ernest and Tammy White, who passed away some years ago. But we do have a scholarship fund for anyone who's graduating high school. Is our deadline already for the ones that actually graduated already, but they're doing it for the next year. So whoever's in the 11th grade now, you can reach out to Tammy White or Ernest White. Thank y'all for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Bowers. And please make sure that the clerk has your contact information. Someone will be in touch in the next day or two. All right, that concludes our public input. Next up, we have superintendent's report and information items, and starting with Mr. Dalton with the Chase City Elementary School project update. There you are, hiding back there.
Good evening, Chairman Winters, Superintendent Warner, and board members. Once again, we have the new Chase City Elementary School construction update. We'll go through construction progress, schedule, direct purchase project process, and photos. Construction progresses, we completed stormwater retention pond. That's a major milestone. We also extended the boundaries a little bit there, and we had some leftover topsoil. And I don't know how many of you have been to Chase City, but in that back where we purchased that property years ago, it's a lot unevenness. So we extended our boundaries and tried to take over some of that leftover dirt and kind of make that a nice little graded area off back there. So you will see that if you go back there. Began slab on grade, concrete pours. We continue to do that. Transitioning to vertical construction, including walls and building systems. You'll see those in the photos. Advanced site work, including grading and parking areas. Progress with foundation and underground utilities. Continue to rough in mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems. Upcoming activities, our substantial completion date remains the same, April 8th, 2027. Final completion still June 15th, 2027. Complete remaining underground waterproofing, continued slab on grade pours, continued vertical construction across classroom wings, install structural supports and bearing plates, advance in-wall building systems such as the MEP, continue site development and parking areas. Owner direct purchases to this date, our tax savings are $184,950. Upcoming purchase orders for flooring, glazing, roofing materials, brick masonry, and technology. These will also be tax savings direct purchases. Here's some photos of us. This is the stormwater retention piping going toward the stormwater retention pond. These are some footers being poured. This is where it's really starting to take shape. Once we start going vertical like that, you can really tell some work's being completed on the job. And I mean, these are from last week, so even more walls have gone up. I will say it's unfortunate. I've never seen it this dry in April in my life. And I know we had a lot of bad weather to contend with in January, February, and some in March. But it looks like due to the dry weather, we are making up tremendously from what that did put us behind. So, any questions?
I've got an announcement for you all to process. As you well know, the Board of Education and the Board of Supervisors has a joint board committee that is comprised of 3 members of each. And this was put together specifically for these projects. I've had a request by the Chairman Lundy for this group to come back together again but we also had a subsidiary request by your counterpart, Mr. Jay Jennings. They so much enjoyed the get-together that we had with the opening of Clarksville Elementary School. They wanted me to inquire with you, would this board be interested in possibly a June or maybe July, but most probably a June joint board activity where both boards came and observed the joint board work, and then we would visit the site and then break bread, probably at the Estes Center, and have that the same kind of thing that we did at Clarksville Elementary School, not at the completion, but at the midterm. You know, that's something that you all would be interested in. You don't have to answer tonight, but I'd like to get some feedback from you, because it would be, I think you all had a really good time with the board. That would also give our two new board members an opportunity to meet their counterparts for their districts.
All right. Think you have the capital improvement project allocation.
Yes, sir. Like I said, we presented this in the finance meeting last month. And I think it's been on board docs now for a month for you guys to review. This is what we will be, I assume you will be voting on along with our operating maintenance budget tonight to send over for approval from the Board of Supervisors. So these are the projected projects per site for the next 5 years. And once we get approval, hopefully we get approval on all projects, this will go into our capital improvement plan that's posted on our website. And it'll be a much more formalized document than this. This is basically just a spreadsheet to give you a brief description of the projects along with the cost. Did anybody have any questions having you reviewed that over the past month?
I just, in reviewing that, so when there are items that we need to purchase years down the road, there is a built-in projected increase for those costs.
Yes, I've projected it by 5 to 10%.
Okay,
Inflation, if you will.
right.
And like I said, it's a living document. So
Sure.
the most important year is the upcoming year. We review this every year.
Yeah, okay.
And as the 1 year falls off, we add another year and review the years in between that. But you know as well as I do in the school system, your needs may change a lot
Yeah.
over the course of 5 years.
So you don't have any questions?
Had a lot of good foresight over the past years with this. It's, Mr. Dalton's done a great job.
It's good to take care of something before it becomes a big problem. We've certainly seen that, but
Well, we've been blessed
yeah.
more than most to have been given new facilities and continue to be given new facilities. And, you know, we need to take it seriously as far as maintaining what we've been blessed with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the capital improvement plan does.
Yeah.
Let's keep them new.
Sorry.
Let's keep them new with the maintenance.
Exactly.
You don't have anything else? Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All right, instruction update. Dr. Lax, can you introduce who we have this evening?
Good evening, Board Chair Winter, Vice Chair Allgood, Dr. Warren, and school board members. We are very excited to have 2 instructional updates to share with you tonight. The first is our school update. We are proud to have South Hill Elementary, home of the Sharks, and we're going to ask Mrs. Lauren Thompson at this time to come along and share with you the wonderful things the Sharks are doing in their school.
Thank you.
You want to introduce your team too?
Certainly, yes. Good evening, Board Chair Winter, Mr. Allgood, Dr. Warner, and board members. I'm Lauren Thompson from South Elementary. I also have with me tonight Mr. Martin, John Martin, one of our assistant principals, and Kim Ritchie, our other assistant principal. So we wanted to share with you the interesting and exciting things we have going on at South Hill Elementary. So, beautiful picture of the school. It was a great day to take that one. Attendance matters is the first thing. The big push we've had this year is we kind of had our children start off, and we've kind of had a friendly competition each month. And so we track our attendance, and each month we have attendance winners from each grade level. And then we have a community partner that worked with us this year, Mr. From Farm Bureau, and he's generously given us the top class with the highest percentage correct. There for the month, he gives them a treat each month. Last year it was 99.2%. Last month, I think it was really close. We've had ties, we've had all kinds of things. So the kids really work to earn, and then they get their name in the case out front for the month. They also get a little treat each class that wins. Last month they got pencils to use in the classroom that had a shamrock theme. We've continued with our shark shout-outs. Students that are sharks are safe, hardworking, accountable, respectful, and kind. A shark shout-out is earned when you go above and beyond the expectations we're given. And so they're recognized by teachers, staff members, administration, bus drivers, whoever comes in contact with them each day. They're announced on our morning show that we have. It's kind of like our own little TV program. And every so many, it's about 10, we have a drawing and one student wins. Our school counselor is also leading our character trait lessons. She's busy working with our students and teaching them responsibility, how to be friends, stepping up and knowing how to make good decisions, and being great citizens throughout the building. We did have our parent family engagement night. It was under the stars. That was our, I would guess you would say, winter event. We had it back in the beginning of March, and it was themed. We used our Star Labs that the county purchased. We had both of them come where the parents and the students could go in the Star Lab and look at the constellations. We had activities from math and science and reading geared around that, that topic of study. We also welcomed our Beta Club students. They've been very helpful, and they volunteer throughout the building to help with different activities, and they're able to earn those Beta hours as well. We celebrated Read Across America in March as well with a fun week for students. They could dress up if they chose to with a different theme each day. Each student did receive a copy of the book, The Sneetches, to take home with them to be able to offer that reading into their home so their parents could read with them too. Our kindergartners presented their annual play. Kindergarten does a play every year. It was called Bingo. This year was centered around the old-fashioned song Bingo that we all know. They did a great job. We had speakers and parts. It was a farm-themed play. Administration even had a few parts in there, and we got to have some fun and be shepherds and farmers and the farmer's wife. So that was a great turnout with our parents, and they really enjoyed that as well. We did organize a career day for our 5th graders, and it kind of segues into career pathways at the middle school and the high school. We had community members that came in and spoke from the medical field. We had counseling. We had the community service workers, the fire department, the rescue squad. We had people from Jamie Barker, just very different avenues so you could see the different careers that you could go into. And we had a rotating schedule for our students in 5th grade, and they were able to listen and ask questions and see demonstrations as well. I am very pleased to say Ms. Ezel has, she's leading our Gate Art group, but she has gotten our kiln up and running. So when she came, it was a goal for her. She's been there. This is her 3rd year with us at South Hill, so it's been quite a labor of love. The maintenance department has gotten it all checked out. We got it all straight, and she's ran test runs on it. And now she's opened it up for Art Gate students. She said she was going to start small and then make it larger the further along that she went. So these 2 students you see here started their art project from the beginning, where they were using the actual wheel with the pottery, and then they were actually able to put it in the kiln, and they fired it in the kiln, and they were able to paint it and keep their pottery. So we're really proud that she's done that. The kids have really enjoyed it. She's hoping to add 5th grade next year to see what she can do for those projects. We were very proud of our very own Scarlett Carter. She was our art winner for the VSBA with her snowman. She's very autistic. You'll catch her doodling. She keeps a notebook, and that's what she does in her spare time when she's, has other things, doesn't have other things to do. We've been a lot of new places this spring. We've had a lot of opportunities to go on field trips. Our students have ventured out to the zoo. We've been to the dairy. Our Special Olympics kids have participated in basketball and bowling. We've also gone to the John H. Kerr Dam. They have a wonderful program with our students where the rangers work with them and use science-based instruction. And our 4th graders were allowed to go to Jamestown this year, which which is a great opportunity for them. The Jamestown Foundation actually came to us on Tuesday, and then they traveled there on Friday. So they really enjoyed that as well. So we're really working on growing as learners and people and individuals. So we focus on growing as students and get those academic pieces in there. But as you can see too, we work on learning to be a good friend and making good choices, playing with others. We have a lot of good things going on at South Hill Elementary. The staff really invest their time with our students to get them where they need to be, not only as learners, but also as people. Does anyone have any questions?
I'd like to say when I came to visit you all, how nice things looked in the school. You just gotten back that day from your medical reasons, and they had a table set up. Ann Owen, who is an old friend whose teacher retired, they were selling books, and it was pretty neat. And I got the opportunity, most of them I could almost read. I got a chance to buy one for each of my grandchildren, and I picked different grade levels, and it worked out well, and they were so excited. So I want to come back again when y'all do books, let me know.
They do that twice a year, so it's a $1 book program, but the kids are allowed to bring in their $1 if they want to, and then we have local, some people donate, and they, so children are allowed to get books then. We're getting ready to work out our book swap, so if we have books at home that we don't need anymore, the kids bring them in, and then we put them out in the library. If you bring in 10 books, you can swap out and bring 10 books back that you haven't read, but maybe you're gently used to, so.
That was a nice thing, it really was.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite Mrs. Crystal Walsh to come forward. She is one of our school psychologists, and Mrs. Walsh wears a lot of hats for MCPS. We're very blessed to have her. One of those hats that she wears is leading our threat and risk assessment team. So, Mrs. Walsh, along with your team, I'm going to ask you to come forward and share with the board.
And while she's getting ready, I put Ms. Walsh on the spot here because
He did.
schools do lots of different things. Some that were traditional, the reading and writing and learning math and how to act well with one another. But we also have to do things that are reactive. And Ms. Walsh and Dr. Lyles, who's retired, and all of our behavioral interventionists and counselors, they, from time to time, children and sometimes adults have issues. And that's what this is all about tonight. And I wanted the public and I wanted the board to have a better understanding of one of the other things that we do in schools. So take it away.
Good evening. As you heard, Dr. Warner asked us to do this, and reluctantly we did. And I do the best speaking in front of others. So I am Crystal Walsh. I'm a school psychologist for the county. This is Latanya Stitt. She is a school counselor for the high school. And Amira Gana. She is our behavior intervention teacher at La Crosse Elementary. So we're here tonight to give a short presentation on threat and risk assessments. We're going to discuss what they are, when we do them, and how they can be beneficial. And I know a lot of you that sit out of discipline have seen the threat assessments before.
So what are threat and risk assessments? So a threat assessment is a fact-based systematic process emphasizing an appraisal of observed or reasonably observable behaviors to identify potentially dangerous or violent situations, to assess them, and to manage and address them. This is for a threat on a group or individual. And for a risk assessment, it is a systematic process to assess the student's risk to self-harm.
So for threat assessments, and that's what we're going to start with. The code, this is a lot of legal stuff, but then we're going to get past this and actually talk about it. But the Code of Virginia 22.1-79.4 requires that threat assessment teams for public schools. Each local school board shall adopt policies for the establishment of threat assessment teams, including the assessment of and intervention with individuals whose behavior may pose a threat to the safety of school staff and students, consistent with the model policies developed by DCJS, Virginia Center for School and Campus Safety, in accordance with the Code of Virginia 9.1-184. So what are the goals of a threat assessment team? Our primary goal of the threat assessment team and management process is to support and enhance the health, safety, and well-being of the school community. Threat assessment is about prevention. It's not about prediction. We cannot predict others' behaviors. Also, it is effective. Threat assessment is based on observation of behavior rather than general characteristics, trait, and profiles. There is no profile of a person who may pose a threat to a school or to other students. There is not a profile for that. So we are looking at trying not to predict behaviors, but trying to figure out what is going on. The team is very specific legally who has to be on a threat assessment team. It has to be expertise in counseling, so our school counselors, behavior intervention teachers, instruction, so our teachers, school administration, and then law enforcement. That changed in 2022, so that is our SROs. Prevention. In over 80% of school attacks, plotters communicated with others about the potential attack, and in over 3/4 of the attacks, someone knew about the violence ahead of the act. Legal guidelines change often with threat assessments, especially as new cases have been coming in, think of Virginia Beach and so forth. So things have changed, and recently we are now required to provide information when we do threat assessments to parents on gun safety.
Alright, so what is a threat that we consider? So it's concerning communication or behavior. So that cannot just be words, that can also be gestures, drawings, anything of that nature that we can perceive as a threat. It indicates an individual may pose a danger to the school community. So this does not just stop at students, this also covers for staff, anyone in that school building. And let's see, and it's communicated directly or indirectly to the target. So that could be, once again, behaviorally, visually, saying it, drawing it, hand gestures, maybe something that was also said through social media. So that's something that happens a lot, and people may think, oh, well, this happened outside of school. Once it is brought into school and it is made aware to school staff, we have to address it and still move forward on that.
That's me. All right, so we're going to talk about the process of a threat assessment. So once the threat is reported, like Ms. Gannum had talked about, the school staff and the team begins the process. The team interviews, investigates, and completes the paperwork. The team does not interview students or the intended targets as a big group. It's not like we have everybody, all the team members, and then the kids sitting there and we're all staring at them, asking them questions. That's not how it works. It's usually 2 staff members work with the individual children and conduct interviews. Probably it's going to be someone that they are familiar with. Sometimes, on the other hand, we have times that the student does not want to talk to teachers or school counselors or behavior intervention teachers that they're familiar with, and so we have somebody else that they're not familiar with that may be able to help. Let's see, each school uses the same paperwork. We adapted our paperwork from the DCJS paperwork. We made it a little bit more user-friendly for our county. Once we do all of the paperwork, we come together as a team. We sit and discuss and then go over the level of what we think the risk is. Based on the level is going to be where with the intervention it goes with. Next, we call the parents and talk to the parents. The only time we do not call parents is if there is a DSS concern. That is very rare, it doesn't happen often. As you can imagine, making phone calls to a parent is very hard, especially when you're calling them and telling them that their child made a threat. Whether it's a no risk, a low risk, or an imminent threat, it is still difficult for parents to hear. We provide the parents with a summary page. We also talk about the next steps for them. We work closely with Southside Behavioral Health with these, especially when they're higher imminent risk. And we talk about how to keep the students safe. Next, you're going to see how many this school year were threats. So far this school year, South Hill Elementary has had 27. La Crosse has had 17. Clarksville has had 14. I do not have the numbers at this time for Chase City. The middle school has had 14, and the high school has had 19. Not all these threats are high threats or imminent threats. Some can be none or low risk.
And for no risk, when I looked at the numbers, you also pay attention to how high the numbers are for the elementary schools compared to the middle schools or high schools. But for elementary school, you may think, well, they're under 10. Once again, it's not always that there were a significant threat, but it was what was reported to us that we still have to take seriously and assess. So at elementary school, there's a lot of happening on the playground, such as playing tag games, cops and robbers, playing finger game, making finger gun. or sometimes students may just repeat something that maybe they heard a sibling or a friend or someone else say at home. Once again, it is not our job to say, oh, well, they were just playing on the playground, or they didn't really mean it like that. It is our job to still take that report of the threat and then assess to determine how significant that threat is. Thankfully, majority of the elementary threat assessments have been rated at a routine or none level, which means that there was no significant concern or threat indicated or that poses a threat at this time.
And the level really dictates the interventions that we do. All right, next we're going to move on to risk assessments. Can we go over that?
So youth suicide has been on the growth for many, many years. So a significant concern in Virginia and across the nation. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and the Virginia Department of Health 2027 report, suicide is the second leading cause of death in our young people from 10 to 24. Since 2023, suicide rates have increased for adolescents between the ages of 10 to 24. Each year, approximately 8% of high school students attempt suicide, and 3% make a suicide attempt that necessitates medical treatment. The number of children ages 5 to 17 that have been hospitalized for suicidal thoughts or behavior has doubled in the last decade. As many as 1 of 6 high school students has seriously considered suicide. In 1999, General Assembly passed a Senate bill stating directing the Board of Education in cooperation with the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services and the Department of Health to develop guidelines for licensed school personnel to use in contact with parents, or if conditions warrant, the local and state service agencies when they believe a student is an imminent risk for attempting suicide.
So the risk assessment process is very similar to the threat assessment process. However, instead of interviewing a group of students or having to interview several students individually, this is really focused on that one student that may pose a threat to harm themselves. So the purpose is to determine the student poses a risk to harming themselves and what additional interventions or supports are needed at that time. Once again, it is a multidisciplinary approach, so it's not just one person making this decision, it is all of us coming together. And when we're doing these interviews in this risk assessment process, it's not just to say, when was the last time you thought about harming yourself, or have you thought about harming yourself? We also look at other factors that are proactive or positive factors in their lives as well too. Do you have someone in your home that you can talk to about your feelings? Have you talked to someone in your home about these feelings? What do you normally do with your feelings, or how do you cope in other ways? How can we identify a healthy coping plan or a healthy plan for you without having to harm yourselves? And for that prevention, again, we evaluate the information gathered to determine whether the student poses a risk of harm to themselves or not, what level of risk that is, and then what supports does that student need, then also what supports does that parent may need as well, just to better understand how to support their child.
Okay. The process for risk assessments. Very similar to the process for a threat assessment. One of the main differences is that for a risk assessment, the person who is asking the questions and leading it must be a mental health provider in the school system, so such as the school counselors, the school nurses, school social workers, school psychologists, or behavior and intervention teachers. Administration cannot do the risk assessments, especially by themselves. We have paperwork that is consistent across the schools. We use the Columbia suicide scale in our paperwork to help ask very specific questions that we can gather more information from. Again, it is a leveled process, so again, starting with low risk, going all the way up to imminent or high. After we complete the assessment, we do call parents, and as you can imagine, anyone that's had children, getting a phone call from the school stating that your child has reported and has feelings of wanting to harm themselves is a very difficult conversation. Some parents react when they're angry, some cry. It's just very hard and you don't know. And we understand that when we're calling the parents. We understand all the different reactions. We also understand that when we're working with students, it is very hard for them. They know we have to call the parents. A lot of times they'll sit in there with us, and it is hard for them knowing that we are now having to reach out to parents. Our goal of risk assessments is to keep the students safe and receive the help that they need. We work really close with Southside Behavioral Health. They have been wonderful this year when we call. Anytime they will help us through the process, especially if we need to send a child to the hospital. Let's see, when it is a child who is at imminent or high risk, we do not send them home. There has been times that on a Friday night, we are still at the school at 9 o'clock at night because we cannot get a hold of the parent, and we are now going through with the SROs and also talking with DSS. That has happened before. I've been in a hospital at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday night because we cannot get a hold of the parent, and the kid needed somebody there with them. Oh, numbers. Oops, sorry about that. Totally forgot. So how many this year? South Hill, 6. La Crosse has 3. Clarksville has 4. Chase City did not have the numbers at this time. Middle school, 20, and high school, 51. We're going to go over why the high school is so high. I know when you first look at that, it looks a little alarming, but there is a reason behind that. And as you can see, elementary is less than high school, which would be predicted. All right, so moving on. How does this support students? The first part.
It helps parents understand how students are feeling. A lot of times, they just don't know how to communicate. So this is our way of helping them to start the conversation. We want to give them the power to really speak to their parent, and so they can understand what's going on. The students, especially as they get older, they don't want to talk. So we're just the middle person to help the conversation, or tell the parent, and then they can start the conversation back with the student.
It opens the dialogues between parents and students. We have had many incidences where we've had parents come in with the student and the team, and we've been talking, and it comes out from the student that there's been incidences of abuse. But they did not feel comfortable telling the parents that, and that this is where it was all stemming from. So it does open up a dialogue with the parents and gives them a chance to figure out what's really going on.
It also helps us as staff to see student as that whole child. So it may be, it's not just focusing on the behavior, it's really focusing on what's driving that behavior. So some children may come in and just put their heads down, hoodie down, don't want to say a word. And some teachers may think, oh, or they're just checked out, or they don't care about school, but there's really something else going on. So by asking these questions through that risk assessment process, what stresses do you have in your life, but then also what supports do you have in your life, just really helps us understand what that child is going through. Doesn't necessarily excuse that behavior by any means, but it does help us explain it, and it helps us understand what that child can benefit from, or just other ways that we can support that child, at least in the school building within our walls.
And utilizes a team approach to determine necessary supports. The main reason why our numbers are really higher at the high school, we had a survey, comment survey. And on the survey, there were questions asking about suicide ideation within the last 12 months. And our beacon, our low guardian beacon, pinged about 21 students in that one time. So when we got the data back and we pinged them, we were like, oh my God, what do we need to do? So what we had to do at 1 o'clock, we did risk assessments. We had to call everybody. We called from the middle school, the high school, the nurses, behavior intervention from the elementary schools, and they all came together, and we did risk assessments for 21 students from 1 o'clock to 2:40, because it has to be 2 people to do a risk assessment. And thankfully, we were able to we had 3 really severe cases, 1 high, 2 middle, and the rest of our students were either already in counseling services or just needed to get something off of their chest. So we were able to contact their parents. They would say, oh yes, we're aware, we're giving them help, but it was able for us to be able to keep an eye out on our students that were there. If we would not have got the beacon alert, we would have possibly missed 3 students that couldn't be with us there.
So thank you. I know we're kind of talking about some heavy stuff, but thank you. This is part of our job, part of what we do, and it does give us a chance to get to understand students a little bit better. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us, or if you want. Yes, Ms. Dora.
I have questions. Okay. I noticed that you got high school, elementary, and you from central office.
Yes.
Why don't we have more elementary participation?
We have all the school count. I just chose these 2. I just chose one from elementary and one from high, just to come and support me and be with me.
Okay.
But no, all of our school counselors are trained. I do a training for threat assessments every year. Our admin are trained. All of them, they're all looking at me because they all had to sit through it. All of them, thank you. They've all sat through it, and most of them have sat through the risk assessment training too. although they can't do risk assessments, they are part of the team and they do support and they are made aware as soon as it happens.
All right, the team that actually does the
It's
assessment.
school-based. So, like, let's say I'm gonna use La Crosse Elementary.
Okay.
So it is school-based. So I do serve La Crosse Elementary. So if I'm there, I will support them, or Lena Freer, who's the school counselor, Miss Puckett, Mrs. Hughes. So they're all part of the team, and then our SRO over there. So they're part of the threat assessment team. So it is school-based. High school has their school counselors, their SROs. I'm also over there. Then Clarksville has their school counselors. So it's the team is school-based. Usually, if there's a question or they need more help, they'll give me a call.
Okay.
We'll kind of talk through things.
And this is a mandatory program. Do you get any financial support
No.
from the state for
No.
this program?
No, I did go to, they did do, DCJS did do training to train the trainer so that we did not have to have them come in anymore to train us. So I did do that not this past December, the December before, so that I could train everyone. And so we didn't have to bring somebody in to train. But no, and the laws are always changing with threat assessments, especially with all the new things that are popping up. So we're just trying to keep track of all the changes. I've emailed Dr. Warner often asking him, can we put this in there? Can we do this? Can we change that? All the time when it comes up.
All right, the one with self
The suicide.
harm.
Okay, yeah.
Or the you said you had 3 this year. Are they brought in and after talk to? Do you refer them right then?
If they're at imminent risk, so they are at risk that if we sent them home tonight, there is a good chance that that child will try to kill themselves. We do not let them go home. We send them to Southside Behavioral Health. We call them, or the hospital, and then usually Southside will tell us either take them to the hospital, bring them to our office. We've had them this year. Southside Behavioral Health has been great, and they have told us, look, the parents got 30 minutes to get this kid to the hospital for us to assess them to see if they need to be hospitalized. So we work directly with them. Even if we have a question and we're kind of like, not sure, do we need to send to the hospital or not? We'll call them and they'll help us talk us through it too.
But you call the parents immediately.
We call the parents immediately. The only time we don't ever call parents, because we legally have to call parents, is if they are wanting to harm themselves or somebody else because of abuse, and it's a DSS issue. That is very rare. I've worked in this county for over 20 years, and I've had that happen maybe one time. But normally we call the parents every time. And we have a summary page. I think you've seen it in discipline, the summary page that, because as a parent, when you're calling and you're telling a parent all these things, do you think they're going to remember this? No, you're in panic mode because you just heard your child wants to harm other people or harm themselves. So we write up a summary so that they can take it. So let's say they do go to the hospital, they have that information to give to Southside Behavioral Health, or they do have a counselor or a psychiatrist, they have that information.
All right, I have one more question there. Suppose a child is dared to do something because this child is doing it and I dare you to do it too. How do you handle that? Because I had a situation that happened where I had a child that was cutting herself, but because her friend was doing it.
We were just talking about that in the other rooms. I'm going to let Ms. Gannon kind of talk about it.
Yeah, we've had similar situations like that before, yes. And then so during that interview process, when we are doing the risk assessment of how long have you been doing this or what made you start doing this, that's usually when that dialogue will come out to say, well, my friend started doing this. First, we make a note because we're going to go probably have to do risk assessment on that friend as well now because now we know that they're cutting. But also that just opens up that dialogue of, well, when did this start or what made you all talk about this? Is it through like a TV show, just through conversation through yourselves as well? And then we help them in that moment identify alternative coping skills, other ways to deal with their pain without cutting. And then also that helps us open that dialogue with parents to say, hey, that student said that this has been happening and they started doing it from a friend. We're not going to say the friend's name, but just to really open that conversation, or they saw it on a TV show on Netflix, things like that. So it just really just helps us open up that conversation about alternative ways that we can deal with our feelings without harming ourselves, and then continuing that conversation. We'll also do, depending on the situation, if that student did say they were cutting before that parent goes home, when we're going through all the paperwork, we also have a document for a safety plan, a parent contract for parents to say that I will ensure that all of my weapons are locked up and stored away separately. I will check that child's room when they go home. I will maintain 24-hour supervision on them, whatever that child needs. And it's really that collaborative. It's not just when you leave here, all right, good luck to you. It's what are we all going to do to ensure that support? And then there's also a 24-hour follow-up that we have to do. So the next day we'll call parents. We also meet with that child the next day as well, just to kind of check in, make sure everything is still moving forward. Did we get that counseling appointment scheduled? What have you?
I have one question. In your professional opinion, what are some of the leading causes for kids to continue the suicide, and it's getting higher? I have some of my own opinions. I want to hear it from a professional.
Social media.
Bingo.
Anxiety. I cannot imagine being a teenager right now. I have 2 teenagers myself. Social media. When we used to go and my friends went out when I was a teenager, I didn't see them out. I didn't know they went out without me. Now it's posted all over social media, and I see my friends having a great time, and I see that I'm not invited to that sleepover, and that is a lot on our kids. I think social media is huge. They spend a lot of time on their phones. They spend a lot of time on electronics.
Thank you.
I want to thank you. This was a big ask for them to come, but I thought this was something that was very important. And one of the things that for people watching the YouTube video or out in the audience, this is all very dependent on vigilance. Because, first of all, let's talk about teenagers. Everyone felt ostracized as a teenager. We all felt like we didn't fit. And that's just part of growing up. But, and you talked about trust. Normally a person who's having a problem isn't going to talk about it. I mean, just think about how, as adults, our lives have changed simply by going to the doctor. When did it start happening when the nurse says to you, are you feeling okay about yourself? Do you want to harm yourself? Are you safe at home? And that's just a reflection of society. We've also become more open about our feelings, where we used to swallow them years ago. Now we're more open about them. Social media is exactly correct. Kids know more than we do, faster than we do. And sometimes parents get very upset because they'll say, how come you didn't notice that my child was feeling this way? Well, when you have 1,100 kids in one school, or 800, or 400, or 300, children blend together, and sometimes they don't say, I don't feel good about myself. We have to be vigilant. Luckily, we have children who pass that information on to adults. Our technology department, you mentioned Go Guardian.
Yes.
Most of the people in this room don't know what you were talking about. Go Guardian is a program that we have that our teachers use by looking at their computer so they can monitor the websites that the students are going to on their Chromebook. Well, our filters are really good, but sometimes something will sneak in. And if we see something or a query such as, will battery acid kill me faster than a stabbing? Josh in the back of the room is on it, ping, ping, ping. And 9 times out of 10, you get the child who said, well, I was just playing around, or I was looking for something. Technically, you can't believe that. We have to do a risk assessment. So the risk assessment has become a very important thing that we do in schools, because even though it's an unfunded mandate, I would say that every educator cares about kids, whether they're in their building or not. They care about them. It's an unfunded mandate that we have to have provisions for and we have to take time for, but it's important for kids. And it's important for adults too, because we have the same issues with some of our adults too. And I don't think we technically call them risk or threat assessments, but we use the same protocols. It's just the way we are in society. And I wanted to thank you. I wanted you to do this so our public know that we do this on top of all the other things that we do. And parents, if you get that call, it's not because we're blaming you. It's because we want to help raise the child with you. And you're right. It's a very difficult call.
It is a difficult call, and I can't imagine as a parent getting a phone call like that. And we understand the different reactions that parents have. We and we're there for them. And we have wonderful school counselors and behavior intervention teachers in every school that are very caring and help a lot.
And you guys are just a representation of that, plus all the administrators and the teachers. So thank you all for doing this, and thank you for caring about our kids.
Thank
All
you.
right, y'all did an excellent job. Thank you. And okay, VSBA Policy Services Agreement. Dr. Warner, that one is yours.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Each year, the Virginia School Boards Association, they provide a policy service agreement. Mecklenburg County's participated in this every year. We pay a fee, and it's basically what provides us the updates, typographical, grammatical, legal, legislative, all the rule changes that we have in our policy manual that helps run our school. Dr. Lax has taken over this. She did policy some years ago. Another individual had it, and she's got it back again. I think this is an opportunity for you, Dr. Lax, to tell the board when the next policy updates will be taking place. And while you're getting up to tell them about this, you as a board have to basically agree to continue to participate in this. This policy agreement is only enforced for 1 year, effective May the 1st, 2026, and terminates April the 30th, 2027. We are coming up on our expiration date, and we recommend that the school board continue with this policy update agreement.
So we have a meeting scheduled for May the 20th, and that's a big policy update date with the SBA. And hopefully at that point in time, we will receive the most recent legislative updates. So once we get those together, I will be calling a policy committee meeting together for those of you that are on the committee and those that would like to attend to discuss those updates and bring those changes before the board at the June meeting for a review for a vote in July. Thank you.
And for our newest board members, if you go to board docs and click on the policy, you can see all of the categories, soup to nuts, personnel to students, community relations, laws, finance, they're all in there. And the VSBA shares these policies across the Commonwealth of Virginia. So you'll see across the board with all 131 school divisions that the policies are somewhat the same, but each school division has some specific policies germane to us. For instance, we have a policy here that not many other school divisions have. It's a memorial policy regarding should a tragedy occur in the school. We have some policies about how we conduct memorials and what we do, just to be consistent. So I think this comes up for a vote tonight, and staff recommends that you accept this agreement to renew.
One question, Dr.
Yeah.
Under number 9, it says VSBA's liability for damages to the board for any cause whatsoever shall be limited to the fee for the services to be performed under the agreement. So if anything that they've recommended that we possibly could do that we got sued for, all we're gonna get back is what we paid them. They're not gonna support us in any other way.
That's the way it's always been.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
why we have lawyers. I mean,
they have lawyers too. They should be involved in this.
And I will tell you, the VSBA, it's your organization, but they do charge for just about everything. And this is a $2,500 renewal fee.
Good to know we get that back in case we get sued.
Yeah, we do too.
I'll pay for the post.
Yeah.
No, but we are smart. We have another organization that starts with a V, VACOR, and that's our insurance carrier. They're very robust, and they do take care of us.
All right. We'll get superintendent comments, I guess.
I'm gonna limit mine. Everyone had a wonderful spring break. On Saturday we had summer, and yesterday and today we're having spring. I'm hoping it's not fall tomorrow. This is the busy season. It's testing, it's review, It's awards banquets, it's awards ceremonies, it's our biggest sports season. It's we just finished with the one-act play. It's a tsunami and a hurricane all wrapped into one. We have approximately 4 weeks of school left. This is our first year of enjoying, or at least being privy to, the new legislation that all SOL tests are to be taken in the last 2 weeks, not before. We are given some dispensation with some elementary, and before you know it, the 22nd of May will be here, and the kids will be having a break, and parents will be hoping for school to open quickly. I'll tell you early right now, put in your calendars, August the 4th and the 5th are our open house, and that worked so well last year. We've always had in the past 1 day open house, but we found out that our parents who had multiple children in multiple schools, they couldn't get to either side of the county, so we broke it up, and it seemed to work much better. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Warner. For my chairman's remarks, I'll defer that to the end. So we'll proceed with the committee reports. Mr. Edwards, Finance Committee.
Finance Committee met this afternoon at 5 o'clock. 2 items were discussed: the payment of the bills recommended for payment tonight. Also, the delegate stipend is recommended to be approved at each organizational meeting every year. And they were the 2 items on our list tonight.
Mr. Evans,
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
the delegates, they should be governor school.
That's right.
Governor. You just said delegate.
To the governor's school.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Instruction Committee?
Yeah,
Mr. Rose.
the instruction committee met last Wednesday. You can pull it up and go through, but I'll kind of hit some of the highlights. You can see the disciplinary hearings we've had throughout the year and what we have in the fourth quarter. Under student services, just like to point out tomorrow, the Special Olympics is at the high school at the track for Area 15. This is the first time we're hosting that. Very excited. Please come join us at 9:45 tomorrow for that. I'll point out under the federal programs, will be losing our Title V funding next year, as this actually is a good thing. In our county, the percentage of low-income families has dropped below 20%. So because of that, we lose that funding, which is a good thing because now we are down to 18, whereas last year we were right around 20. You can see the kindergarten applications, what they are, and the applicant list is being shared with Head Start for the next 14 days. If you look under the Virginia Literacy Act, we're going through spring assessments right now. That window for both of those is occurring. Down on middle school and high school updates, point out on the governor's school letters that were mailed, we have 12 that were accepted for humanities for governor's school and 5 for STEM. And then 1 who applied for the summer program was accepted into the ag program for that. You can see a new course offering that will go into effect in the spring of 2027, Ethics and Society program. And then not listed there, which we're very excited about, is Criminal Justice 1, which because demand was so high, we will actually have it in both the spring and fall. And also because of the demand, the professor will be coming to the school for that, which we're really excited about. You can see professional development, what's listed there, the English learner as well, and the numbers. The course registration for the high school and middle school are complete. Testing calendars for next year are currently in development. If you look at the business writing work keys, that was very successful this year. Very little students did not pass that, which we're excited to see. And then the note, which was noted before, the test results for the spring 2026 will be delayed due to the post-equating that must occur. I think it's been mentioned in previous agendas as well. And then dropping down to the other items, excited that all elementary school students will get 10 books when they leave, 5 fiction, 5 nonfiction, and they'll each get a tote that I think will correspond with each school. And then again, the key dates, the Special Olympics tomorrow, which I pointed out earlier, the Fine Arts Festival on the 22nd, the next day at the complex, and a very busy week, not listed there. On the 23rd, we also have college night for the 11th graders. And the meeting adjourned at 2:47.
Awesome, great job, thank you. All right, consent agenda. And those items are, they're in board docs there. Can I get a motion that the school board approves the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Mr. Allgood, seconded by Ms. Coleman. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. All right, we have a recommendation to pay the bills. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board approves the Personnel 1 recommendations regarding employments, resignations, retirements, transfers, supplements, and adjustments?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Ms. Garner, seconded by Mr. Clark. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board approves the Personnel 2 recommendations regarding employments, resignations, retirements, transfers, supplements, and adjustments?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Coleman, seconded by Ms. Cheney. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board approve the Personnel 3 recommendations regarding retirements, resignations, and recession of employee contracts?
So moved.
Second.
Wow. Moved by Mr. Allgood, seconded by Ms. Garner. Roll call, please.
Numerous people.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board supports the discipline committee recommendation regarding student matter SD 2025-2026-03 to expel a student for 365 days?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Garner, seconded by Mr. Clark. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Abstain.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board supports the discipline committee recommendation regarding student matter SD 2025-2026-04 to expel a student for 365 days?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Allgood, seconded by Ms. Garner. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board supports the discipline committee recommendation regarding student matter SD 2025-2026-05 to expel a student for 365 days?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Garner, seconded by Ms. Coleman. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board supports the recommendation regarding student matter SD 2025-2026-06 to admit the student into the Phoenix Academy with a hybrid schedule outlined by the superintendent, which they are eligible for after April 21st, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Garner, seconded by Ms. Cheney. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter,
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board supports the recommendation regarding student matter SD 2025-2026-07 to admit the student into the Phoenix Academy with a hybrid schedule outlined by the superintendent, which they are eligible for after April 21st, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Garner, second by Ms. Cheney. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter,
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board approves the fiscal year 2027 budget as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Allgood, seconded by Mr. Edwards. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter,
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board approves the capital improvement project allocations?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Edwards, seconded by Mr. Clark. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter,
Yes. Can I get a motion that the school board approves the 26-27 VSBA Policy Services Agreement?
So moved.
Second.
All right, moved by Ms. Coleman, seconded by Ms. Cheney. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mrs. Garner,
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney,
Yes.
Mr. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Allgood,
Yes.
Mr. Edwards,
Yes.
Mr. Winter,
Yes. All right. Reminders. May 18th will be our regular school board meeting. The 22nd, the last day of school, followed by graduation on the 23rd. The 25th will be a holiday, schools and offices closed. And the 26th, a staff work day, also known as a professional development day. Summer hours will begin, for those that remain, 7:30 to 4:45 p.m., working Monday through Thursday. Board member remarks. All right. Let's start with you, Ms. Coleman.
I'm gonna keep it short. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your hard work.
Ms. Cheney.
Yes, just thank you all. We are close to the end here, so let's just finish strong. Thank you, South Hill Elementary, for your presentation. That was beautiful. Thank you to our counselors and behavior specialist teachers for that presentation as well. And again, let's finish strong. Thank you.
Mr. Rose.
Yeah, to add on to what Ms. Cheney said, good luck to everybody in the next month. It's busy with all the testing, to the students and the teachers and admin for all that. Good luck. To Ms. Thompson and the whole team at South Hill, thank you on a personal level for all that you do. As my littlest one will be leaving this year and going to middle school, but thank you for all that. It was great to see everything that's gone on and growing up. But I really appreciate all that you guys do. Thank you,
Mr. Arnold.
Yeah, I get a lot of calls, I guess all of us do, about complaints about things that we don't do well. And it's okay, we need to know that. But parents that are listening and parents that get this through the paper, when you have positive things that would maybe improve our schools, don't keep that a secret. Share it with us, because it might be something we might possibly consider doing. But if we don't know it, we can't do it. Now, probably most of the time we already know what the problems are anyway, but thank you for sharing them with us. We'd like to see more input on positive things. I'm a realist. I'm not a positive person. I just see both sides. But thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allgood. Down your way, Mr. Arnold, next.
Oh, just to reiterate everything everyone said, the presentations tonight were wonderful from both South Hill and from our risk assessment team. I know a lot of hard work goes into coming up here before us and what you do on a daily basis. These little snapshots of it are nice to see. And the risk assessment side of it is my world, and I understand what you go through, and it's hard to talk to parents and to these children and figure out what's going on. I really wish we could grab hold of this and, really fix it. I wish I knew how. To, all our staff, I know you're working hard. We had, like I said, one more real hard month in front of us. And then at least you can take a deep breath. And then we'll be right back in, and I know we're working hard. And just thank you for everyone who showed up today.
Ms. Garner.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming and everything, but there's one person I want to point out is Ms. Dalton. If you notice, or if you're on Facebook, you see a lot of her posts involving a lot of our students, elementary, high school, and I don't know whether the teachers send it to you, whether you go looking for it, but she really does keep as much as she can up to date of what's going on with our schools and our students. Thank you, Ms. Proctor.
Thank you, Ms. Garner. Ms. Clark?
I don't have much to add. I'm still the new person, and I'm just want to thank everybody for coming and your presentations tonight. So I'll just leave it short and sweet.
Mr. Edwards?
I don't have much to add. I'm the old person. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you all. I've watched you for a lot of years. You work hard. All of you. Thank you.
When you have a good board, they say a lot of good things, and it leaves me with nothing left to say. Right? What's that?
Introduce our new financial person.
Please do.
Ms. Warman, if you wouldn't mind standing up, this is our new interim CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. She comes to us with a bevy of experience, and we're so happy that we only went without a CFO for a week because I was in charge and I was really
made magic
you were a
happen.
lifesaver.
Right.
Makes me feel better. She's joking about that picture. Feel better. She's been smiling all night.
This woman, after the week that Dr. Warner was in charge, how long did it take you to get it fixed? Don't answer that.
If I might, I don't get to say this very often, but thank you to all of, when I say my staff, it makes me feel uncomfortable. The people that I work with, the principals, assistant principals, directors and coordinators, thank you all for staying here and participating in this meeting. That means the world to me. It makes me feel like I'm supported by you. I hope you feel that you're supported by us. But I know that you all have lives, suppers that are waiting, children that are being taken care of by significant others who don't do it as well as you do. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
That's a good point. All right. Can I get a motion that the school board convenes a closed meeting 2 for personnel matters regarding resignations, retirements, supplements, adjustments, employments, transfers, grievances, and discipline pursuant to Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A1.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Allgood, seconded by Ms. Garner. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Garner?
Yes.
Mrs. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. Cheney?
Yes.
Mr. Arnold?
Yes.
Mr. Allgood?
Yes.
Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Winter?
Yes. Y'all be safe going home.
We got a second. Do we have a second before we go?